Hello everyone, my name is Chris Reinhardt. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Ormond Beach, Florida. Welcome to my craft table. Today we're going to be making card number 2 in the series from the Cutest Crew stamp and die set. This is the card we'll be making. It's a book fold card. It's simple to make, and I really like the birds. So that's what actually drew me to the set. So here's the stamp set and the matching dies. You can cut out either the whole group of animals or right here, or you can cut out individual animals, which makes it nice. Okay, let me tell you what we need to start with. We're going to be using since it's a book fold, we need our paper to be 11 by 4 1/4. And we're going to score it at 4 1/4 and 5 1/2. Our inside is going to be a 4 by 4 piece of basic white. And our outside is DSP, and it's from the Nests of Winter, which is still available. I don't know if you remember this. It's been out for over a year now. It's a really nice set, but this one has little bird footprints, so I thought that's perfect for this card. So you're going to need 2 pieces of DSP from that. The first one is a 1 by 4, and the second is a 4 by 4. We're going to be cutting out an arch from the Everyday Arches set right here. This is the arch we'll be using. Now, if you'll notice, this arch is quite a bit larger than the arch that I'm going to be using for the card, and I'll show you how you can adjust the size of your arch by the way you cut the paper. We'll need a piece of scrap to stamp our birds on. I use the brushed brass butterflies, which I think are on the last chance list, so I need to get another pack or 2 before they go out of stock. They're always nice to have. Okay, well, I think we can get started. Let me put these aside. First thing we're going to do is glue down our DSP on the front. Our heat went out last night, and I woke up this morning frozen. Luckily, the HVAC company sent someone out within a half hour from when I called them, but by then I was totally frozen. He found the problem and was able to fix it. So we now have heat, but it's going to take me a while to thaw out. Luckily, it's not as cold as it was last week, but it's still cold enough. Anything below 75, and I'm pretty chilly anyway. You want to make sure your little footprints are going in the right direction. You don't want them going sideways or up and down. Okay. Now, to cut our arch, bring in my cut and emboss machine and zoom out a little bit. There we go. You'll see I want the arch to be about 3.5 inches, I think it was, yeah. So what we're going to do is I'm going to tape this arch on here so that it doesn't slip, first of all, with some low-tack tape. And we're going to only cut up to about where it curves. So to do that, I haven't done this on the small one. I'm missing a plate. There we go. You're going to put your plate. There's probably many ways to do this, but I'm only going to cut. There we go. Up to that curve. Let's see if I can get my hands to work. good. Come back out. And you'll see that it has cut just to there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this back in, but I'm going to slide it down and you'll feel it kind of click. Actually, what you can do is also cut off these side pieces because we don't need them. They're just getting in the way. You can feel it kind of click in place, those little stitching. And let's see, that's about, I think I want to go up a little higher. It doesn't have to be an exact measurement, but you do want to make sure that it's clicking in place. And when it does, go ahead and tape your die down again. And then we're going to cut from the other direction just down to where it cut the first time. I hope this is making sense. You may have to rewind and watch a couple times if you've never done this before. Okay, we're going to roll it till about there, and you can check on the back to see if it cut down far enough. And it looks like I need to go down just a little bit farther. Probably could have marked, pardon my arm there. That should do it. Yep. Okay. Got to be careful when you take your tape off so it doesn't rip your paper. Now, as you can see, there's just a little bit, it probably wasn't lined up exact, but it's so slight that you really hardly notice it. So I just want to even it out. There we go. And that's it. Now, how close did I get to my original? It's a little shorter, but that's all right. Put that aside. Okay, next we're going to take some Granny Apple Green and we're going to brush on a little bit of green grass at the bottom, just ever so lightly. And then I took some Balmy Blue and did a little bit of the sky. And I just want it very light. I don't even know if that's showing up, but you can actually see that. Let me see if you can tell here. It's hard to tell. Okay, we're going to stamp our sentiment. And I chose, where'd it go? Here it is. You Make Me Smile. And that's from the Nature's Symphony. And we're going to stamp that in black. The top. Here we go. And then we can set this aside while we work on our birds. We're going to stamp them also in black. Here they are. And then we're going to die cut them after we color them. And you can take whatever colors you want for your birds. I chose Sweet Sorbet because that was the ribbon I had. And I used Blueberry Bushel. And I used Daffodil Delight with a little bit of cloud cover for the wing. Okay, so I'm going to start. I've got this colored already, but I'll color one bird so you can see how it's done. Just taking the light color. Not quite sure what kind of bird this would be when it's not real red, but I didn't have thin red ribbon, so this cardinal's going to be either a cardinal that's not quite red or some other red bird, which I don't know what would be. Okay, so there's the first layer of color. And then use the dark Sweet Sorbet around his wings. There's not too much difference. And then I'm going to go back with the light again to blend it in. I mean, it's not you don't have to be an artist to do this. And I think I used black, the light basic black for the beak on this one. Sometimes these are hard to open. Whoops. Well, that's not good. Let's use the other end. Have you ever had that happen to you? There we go. We can color a little bit of the grass too while we're here. I used Granny Apple Green. And just colored in some of the grass. And we'll have the grass that we put on, that we blended on. This will kind of blend into that. There we go. So you get the idea on how you color it. Here's the one I've got colored already. And I also, after it dried, I put on a little wink of Stella just to give it a little interest, because you can't have too much glitter. And it's going to go here, and we're going to put that on dimensionals. My last card in the series will be the cats. Oops. That one's a little too far over. And then have to start all over and think of some other things to do with this. I just really like this set a lot. Well, let's put a little one on its head too. There we go. Oh, I wish I could warm up. Here we go. And then I put a little bit, a couple of those brushed butterflies. Brushed brass butterflies. Say that 3 times fast. Okay, you can put a large one maybe here. Maybe a little small one up there. Okay, let's go back to our card. We want to get our ribbon on here before we glue this down. So what I'm going to do is, I usually just tape my ribbon on the back. So get some Scotch tape. I'm just about out of that. Tape it on the back. And I like to double check to make sure that it's straight before I tape down the second one. Second end. And that looks straight. Come on. There we go. Just like to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere after this is glued down. All right, so we're going to glue our short panel down to make it look like a book. And I like to open it up to make sure there's no glue seeping out by mistake, because you will close your card, keep your card closed if that happens. So double check to make sure that there's no glue there. There we go. And then I take a smaller piece. It's about 4 inches. This was 7 inches, by the way, in case you need to know that. And I'm just going to make a simple knot here. And then cut that off. With your ribbon scissors, make sure you have scissors just for your ribbon. Okay. Now we can add our little birdies. And you could put them on dimensionals if you want, but since I've already got the birds on dimensionals, I'm not going to put this on because I don't want it to be too high for mailing purposes. And just center that. So there's the front of our card. Okay, we're ready to stamp our inside. Now our inside sentiment is "So glad we're friends," and that's from the Cutest Crew stamp set. And stamp that at the top. And then we need Crumb Cake for the little bird tracks. Make sure they're going in the right direction. I didn't stamp these off. I made them full strength. And I put a couple going up. All right. So that's ready to go into our card. Another simple card, but really a cute one. How many of you have bought this set already? I'd love to see your cards. You can post them on my Facebook page, chrisstampin.com. Or not, that's my website. You don't want to post them there. My Facebook page is Chris's Stampin'. There we go. Well, there it is. It didn't take long to put together. And I hope you understood how I made this shorter than the actual die is, by quite a bit, you can see. It would have fit on there, but I think it really was just too big for the card itself. Okay, let me see if I can give you a sneak peek of the card we're going to do next. This is my favorite one. So this is the kitty cat one. So we'll be doing that. I'll be doing that in my next video. And there you have it. let's see, here's the card we did today. And then also, here's the card we did earlier. I still laugh every time I see that one. Okay, well, thanks for tuning in. And just remember, making and receiving handmade cards, that's what joy feels like. See you next time for my kitty cat card. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.